I like it.
And
And then real fast, for fuck it, just go ahead and roll it.
what?
No, I'll save it for the thing.
Okay.
But I'll save it for the discussion for what we're doing.
Okay. Let me get ready.
Get ready. Get set. Ham.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Get With The Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler.
Wolverine.
And we have a very special fan service episode, a programmable debate in the best way, because we have new clues from Dave Castro as what the online CrossFit Games version is going to be, which starts on Friday. We are recording this on a Wednesday.
Man.
And that
It's
little
here already. You believe that?
new hints, and I immediately text Bill, I'm like, dude, let's program this thing.
Oh my gosh. I'm just still shocked that it's happening. Like every time I see the post come up on Instagram by whoever, whether it's Morning Chalk Up or whoever, it's like the games of this weekend, and like, wait, really? I can't, like I'm still my body's still not like handling this right. It doesn't know what it's supposed to be doing right now. It's all confused. Confused.
I'll admit, as kind of wish-wash that I've been all year, just with everything that's going on and the game's getting pushed back, cut down, completely changed, I'm getting kind of excited about it. I'll be honest.
Is that because of how it's set up, or because it's like, oh, no, you're actually here? Like, we're going to do it.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
I'm not overly excited about how the setup is, honestly. Like, I'll be straight up and honest with that. But what are you going to do? You know what they needed to do was they needed to pull the plug. And so it's kind of like, fuck it. We're going to just, here we go. And That's what I think that's what this year has had to have been. Stop talking about it. Right. Just make something happen. And so I'm happy about that. I think that's why I'm like confused, because I know it's not going to be anything like we've seen or done or known or whatever, but it's like, just say go already so we can get started, you know? Yes. So I'm excited about that.
Well, I like the message the games put out. It was Dave on the Ranch, and they were talking about the new format and the games itself and it being a weird year.
Yeah.
And I really loved the message that came across, is like, we are going to do whatever it takes to put this on. We're not going to quit. We're not going to back down. We're going to show the resiliency of CrossFit as a whole, and that's the affiliates, the community, and the games to a certain extent. So I enjoyed that, and once that message came out, honestly, that really did tip the scale into my excitement, because it's like, you know what? This isn't a white flag event. This isn't, we're giving up, but we're going to give you just a little bit. It's
a rally call.
A rally call. Exactly. Yeah. That's a great way to put it, because this is everything that we're trying to do to put this on. Not to say this is the same thing as what Madison or Carson or Aromas always was. They're not saying that. And I think we shouldn't judge it based off what we've gotten in the past, because this is unprecedented times and circumstances. But it's the fact that we're not giving up. We're not giving in. And we're going to do this no matter what.
Look, man, it's CrossFit, and CrossFit was always like, just make something happen. Don't get all freaked out. And I like the fact that even through all this weird COVID time, it was like, hey, if you think you need to have some high-tech assault bike, some high-tech machine, you need to have, your green plates, your blue plates, your yellow plates. It's like, no, you don't. You just need to make something happen. And that's where we are. And it's not going to be Madison, and no, it's not going to be Aromas or the StubHub Center or the Home Depot Center or Carson, but we're making it happen, and we're just picking the pieces up and moving forward. And that's what you got to do. Like, stop bitching about it. Stop. I really wish it was. Just get going, and we're finally going.
Finally going. So we got some big things on the horizon coming this weekend. Friday and Saturday will be the online version of the CrossFit Games. Top 30 men and 30 women around the world will be competing for 5 spots to the live competition in October in California. But some big show news, Bill.
Woo!
Big show news is we
Big.
have a partner of Get With It Programming. We always do these shows in the morning, and we're always drinking some coffee.
Always.
And we have upped the coffee game with, we want to welcome Bubs Naturals.
Yeah, Bubs.
Show. And Bubs Naturals, they have an MCT powder that you can put in your coffee. Actually, put in whatever you want, but we prefer to put in our coffee. And it is upped the coffee game quite a bit, as well as a collagen protein, and it's not flavored. So for me, and I know you, coffee is a huge part of our morning routine.
Coffee is a huge part of my regular day, bro. They
actually sent us some free product. I think it was, I want to say 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just to try it out. And I think in a matter of the first try, absolutely changed the coffee routine and the morning routine with that MCT oil and that collagen protein. That is now an official, it was an unofficial addition to my morning coffee routine. And now is an official morning coffee routine of our Get With The Program podcast. But this Bubs Natural stuff is amazing,
dude. So I love heavy cream in my coffee. That's my go-to. I get my coffee with the heavy cream.
Yes, you do.
And that's Sean would always make he would always tease us as we're getting ready to do the games, whatever. Is it, you got that heavy cream? You got your heavy cream? Because he knows that's my power or something. I don't know, but it works. Whatever it does. And when I tried the MCT oil and I put it in there, it was like it's unflavored. It's just powder. It's just supposed to blend right in. And it was extra frothy and creamy. And I was like, dude. So I actually hit them up afterwards. And I said, I was like, hey, can you have too much of this stuff? Because I want to put it in every cup that I have. And he's like, whoa. He's like, take it easy on that one. You'll find out. You'll find out if you put too much in there. But it's amazing. I mean, I've been looking for, I used to put MCT oil in my coffee anyway, just for the benefits of that. And to be able to get the benefits plus have, the extra creaminess of that is amazing. And then, man, who doesn't want a little collagen peptide in the old system? Keep these old bones and joints working. Man, I'm so excited those guys came out. I mean, great company.
Yeah.
And the fact that they hit us up, I mean, makes us feel really good. I mean, that's so great.
We want to welcome Bubs Naturals as our partner of the show. Bubs Naturals, founded in 2017, veteran-owned and operated. That's named after Glenn Bub Doherty, who lost his life heroically in Benghazi in 2012. So this is a great product, but a great company. 10% of everything that they make as a company gets donated to the Doherty Foundation. And you can go to bubsnatural.com. And if you enter the code GETWITH20, all caps, you'll get 20% off your order. So we want to thank Bubs for supporting us and the show. And one last thing, if you guys enjoy what we do, we just started our Patreon account for the show.
Yeah.
Listen, we love what we do. We want to do more and more for our fans. Again, we started this because of the love of it. We will continue to do this for the love of it. But if you guys do want to support the show and you want to show your support in person, you can go to patreon.com/getwiththeprogramming, and you can support the show for $6 a month. Sign up, find our show, Get With The Programming, and just become a fan. And what we are going to start doing is we're going to start doing some special Patreon, what do I say?
Just say it. Just say it.
Once we get a good little group going, me and Bill, we talk about programming. We analyze it a lot, but we also do it.
Do it.
And I want to say we're pretty damn good at what we do.
Yeah.
Every week, we will select a random patron, and we will give them a free month of individualized programming from me and Bill. So if you guys want to support the show, we will in turn support you, as every week we will select a random patron, and you can tell us anything you want. Whatever you want for a month, we'll give it to you.
What you guys have to understand is that's heavy. Dude, look at what people are are paying for programming out there right now.
$300 a month.
Yeah, I mean, I have programming that I charge my athletes for that I'm working with and stuff like that. So like this is you want to talk about a little extra value, dude.
Please.
You got us two big old fat heads right here, ready to dump some knowledge on you guys and make you better. Patrons from Patreon, dude. It's gonna be so awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to get our army set up.
Oh man, I'm pumped.
It's gonna be so good.
So again, we want to thank Bubs Naturals for hopping on board with us for the show. And if you guys want to support the show directly, you can go to patreon.com/get with the programming. And every week we'll select a random patron and give you guys a free full month of programming courtesy of me and Bill. Boom, but enough about that. Let's get down to business. And by business, we mean fun stuff, because we're about to put our hats in the ring, the old programming ring with El Toro himself, Dave Castro.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been paying attention, something's going on this weekend. Some programming with the CrossFit Games. And we've got some teasers. We got some teasers out in the CrossFitosphere. I feel like that's the new official.
I think it's official. You could say that.
New official phrase, courtesy of Get With The Programming. An equipment list was sent to the athletes that was released by entities that weren't a part of CrossFit, but we do have it. And then the hints of the events were handed out yesterday by Dave Castro in the most serial killer handwriting kind of way you could possibly think. I'm wondering what kind of
like why? Like I'm waiting for him to do it where you cut the letters out of the magazine and then you paste them. Like why didn't he just set them up that way? I mean, I know he's got the handwriting to make it look serial killer like that, but come on, Dave, just make it really like freak everybody out by cutting the pictures, the letters out, and then pasting them on that way. That would be cool. And
if you're not following Dave Castro, he released this photo. The best part about this was it's written on yellow pad legal paper, but he wrote it like inverted.
Totally. Yeah, like you turn the page.
Knowing Dave, everything is very calculated with this man, and I'm pretty sure this was a very calculated move of writing it the way he did, just to mess with everybody.
Well, the hard thing I had with this when you showed me this and you hit me up right away and you're like, Bill, we need to do this.
Let's do this.
My first thought was, okay, those don't mean anything, because look at all the open events that he would have, or he'd put like some book that he's reading. He puts up Grapes of Wrath, and everyone's like 19.3 Grapes of Wrath, and everyone comes up with all their ideas of what it's supposed to be and the background of the story and how many characters and how is it going to be a long one or a hard one or a fast one or a heavy one or whatever based on that. And so my initial response to that was, this isn't going to mean anything. Like he's just putting it out there this is what he does. He throws his grenade out there and then just stirs the pot, and that was my initial thought. Like he's just fucking with people right now.
Of course he is. It's Dave Castro. That's what he does.
But the problem is that when CrossFit announced that they were going to do the games and announced how it was going to be set up, one of the things that they also said was you can follow along and you can do the events with everyone. Uh-huh. So it was like, oh, well, if that's the case and we're kind of playing COVID-ish style right now, then those workouts will work. Mm-hmm. And then you look at the equipment list and you're like, well, shit.
Yes.
Now damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe they do mean something now.
All right. So we don't know what they mean, but as true jump to conclusion professionals, we're going to pretend like we know what they mean. And what we're going to do on this episode for our fans is give our event by event programming based off the clues that Dave Castro had given out, not just on his piece of paper, but I'm going to look back even further along his Instagram timeline to use as part of my ideas. Okay. And we're going to take the equipment list given out, couple it with Dave's clues, and make up our own events of what we think we're not going to pretend like we know what's going to happen. We're just going to throw out some programming. So let's start with the equipment list given to the athletes.
Got it.
I'll just run down real quick. Barbell, men and women, standard bumper plates, change plates, 1 pound minimum, collars, pull-up bar, squat rack, GHD, running route no further than 300 meters out and back. So that would actually be a total of 600 meters at the most of what they would do. A Concept 2 rower, jump rope, and a wall for handstand push-ups. Support equipment, scale, wheel, distance measuring tape. None of that is very... So a very, I would say, small equipment list.
Minimal.
When you're talking about being able to do this in your garage, this fits the bill. And so we're going to take that equipment list and couple it with Dave's clues. Now, the way I'm reading this is he has 7 different things written down in 2 different columns. So I'm going to assume there's going to be 4 events on Friday and 3 events on Saturday. Event 1 he wrote down as Friendly Fran. Event 2 is just the letter W. Event 3, Damn Diane. And event 4, just the letter M. Event 5, Nasty Nancy. Event 6, the letter G. And event 7, Awful Annie. Now, what I think we should do is at least go through the baseline of what these events are based off of for those that may not know.
Yeah.
So when you talk about Fran is the classic of classic CrossFit workouts. It's 21, 15, 9, thrusters at 95 and 65, and then chin over bar pull-ups. W, for those that don't know the programming side, stands for weightlifting.
Weightlifting.
Right? So what that means in terms of what his event will be, me and Bill will make up our own assertion to that. But what I understand that is it'll be strictly dealing with weightlifting itself. Diane, 21, 15, 9, deadlifts at 225 and handstand push-ups. M stands for monostructural. So what that is any type of, you would say, cardiovascular endurance movement. So rowing, running, swimming, biking, double unders is considered a monostructural movement. Now, the limitations with what they have is they only have a run course and a rower available. Oh, and they do have
They have double unders, yeah.
So those are your 3. Nancy, and correct me if I'm wrong here, 5 rounds, 400-meter run, 15 overhead squats at 95 and 65?
95, 65, yeah.
Is that the correct order?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
G stands for gymnastics, so anything body weight related that doesn't include weight. So anything from burpees to bar muscle ups, basically. It could be pistols, it could be air squats, it's just anything with your body weight that is not externally loaded. And then Annie is 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Sit-ups and double unders, or double unders and sit-ups?
Double unders and sit-ups.
Double unders and sit-ups.
Start with double unders, yeah.
Now, those are what all these are based off of, but with the alliteration of different type of adjectives in front of them, Friendly Fran, Damn Diane, Nasty Nancy, Awful Annie, it's, I think, safe to assume those will not be the workouts exactly.
No, I'm sure that they're going to have some sort of tweak in them. Which they always do. We've seen Fran's a bazillion times. We talk about how there's always, at every single games, and this one also now, right, there's always an iteration of Fran, some sort of gymnastic pulling, some sort of thruster type movement. It's always been there, whether it's rope climbs or it's bar muscle ups or whatever. We've seen a games version of Nancy before. Yes. I think it was Naughty Nancy is what they called it, 2013. So that was the 600-meter run and the overhead squats, yeah, which is interesting because when I saw that, I was all, 600-meter run.
Right.
300 out, 300 back. Mm-hmm. We haven't really seen Annie. We've seen, obviously, components of that, but we haven't seen that setup, but that's such a classic one. Annie is such, that's one of those ones that people do all the time, that they go to the hotel room when they're traveling and they do that one. It's a travel event. So simple. But like, how do you make it awful? I know we've played with it a lot of different ways, and you can make it really, really awful, So here's a couple assumptions I'm going to make right off the top. And Bill, you can
back me up. Me and Bill haven't shared our events, by the way. So here's our assumptions that I'm going to make. Anytime they've done a modified version of a girl workout, whether it's at regionals or the games, the components and the movements have rarely changed. So, for example, Naughty Nancy was still running in overhead squats.
Yep.
They didn't add anything in there. Now they changed the weight and they changed the distance, but the movements themselves haven't changed. What was the one from regionals? Nasty Girls 2.0?
How'd they do that one?
It was still Nasty Girls is air squats, muscle ups, and hang power cleans.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. The hang power cleans were more. They changed the air squats to pistols, but they kept the muscle ups.
Right, right.
And so my assumption is that they're not going to infuse additional movements into these traditional workouts. So if it's Friendly Fran, it's still going to be thrusters in some type of gymnastic pulling movement. Damn Diane, it's still going to be deadlifts and handstand push-ups. Now, the weights and the style of handstand push-up might change. Naughty Nancy, again, overhead squats and running. And then Awful Annie, it's still going to be some type of sit-up and a double under. I don't think they're going to do anything extra, like add an additional movement. That's my assumption I'm going to make.
I thought that as well. However, I didn't want it to be that way. I figured that it would. I figured also with the fact that they made the comment about like you could do these along with the athletes at home when they listed out everyone can do these. Every CrossFitter out there does their version of Fran and Diane and Nancy and all that. I didn't want to take such an obvious tweak on that. So what I did when I was kind of playing with my events here was kept the essence of each of the workouts.
Okay.
But instead of going Fran W,
okay,
and then Diane and M, what I did was I looked at it and I was like, okay, I don't think he listed all the events he's going to do. So what I did was, how do you make Fran a weightlifting event? Oh. How do you make Diane a monostructural type event? How do you make Nasty Nancy a gymnastic type of event? Like that's where I was kind of going, because I wanted to find. Okay.
Oh, I like this. We're gonna have completely different programming.
Totally different.
Oh, this
totally
is
different.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Spent minutes not talking about what we said we're going to talk about. Okay,
we're going to do it.
So, event 1. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll take my friend. I'll go my friend first.
Okay.
All right. So, what I did, like I said, I infused the two. So, Fran 21:59 thrusters and pull-ups. What I wanted to do was I wanted to keep. We know that they have a pull-up bar. Mm-hmm. We know that they have weights. So what I wanted to do was make this a weightlifting event by putting the emphasis on the thruster.
Okay.
So 21:59, you keep it the same, but the way we'll do that is you increase the weight of the thruster every round. So you start off 155, 105 for your thrusters at 21 reps.
Whoa.
Then you have, it's the games, bro. It's the games.
I was infusing my own inefficiencies.
And then you do pull-ups. Then the next round, just regular old pull-ups.
Okay.
The next set is the 15s. And again, these are your beasts here, so we know that they can lift a lot of weight. So I'm going 225, 155 for 15.
Holy crap.
Chest to bar pull-ups.
Okay.
And then your 9 is 275, 195 for 9 bar muscle-ups.
Holy Bill.
It's a game, bro. Because again, here's what I see. I see everyone out. I see all the videos that have been posted of all these brand new world records on Fran. We have talked already about how Fran is not an element to be able to test these athletes anymore. It's too light. It's too easy. These guys have such a high capacity that they're all going to be within a handful of seconds of each other. So I don't see it as being a valid. an appropriate test for the athletes anymore, especially in this realm. Like, you don't have a chip timer. There's too much room for error, in a 2-second error could be a drastic difference here. So I think that it has to be something that's changed, even though we're seeing, I mean, the numbers that people are putting up and the way they're doing it is awesome. I mean, it's good to see. And I think community wise, we do Fran. So it's awesome to see these badass athletes. And the best one was, and I don't have her name right in front of me right now, but the girl that got the fastest female time right in a regular old class.
Marissa.
Huh?
Marissa, formerly known as
Oh,
Marissa.
yeah. I mean, we've seen they put so many of them out there, so it was
my neck of the woods.
But dude, awesome. But I don't think that should be for the games. So that's why I went heavy. I wanted to make it a weightlifting workout.
Okay. I like that. And to your point is that once you get to the games level, when you take an event like Fran, if you just did regular Fran, everyone has completely maxed out their potential there. 21:59 thrusters and pull-ups is nothing to a games athlete. And then what separates the times becomes something outside the realm of fitness.
It's transitions.
No. The fastest people are going to be the shortest people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And so,
range of motion.
Exactly. And we're not taking away from people's fast times because they're smaller. We're just saying is that if everybody is elite at the elite level, we're talking about the top 30 that are going into the weekend, you can't just program regular Fran because then the times are dictated by something outside your fitness level. So I like what you did there. I think that's insanely hard, and there's nothing friendly about that Fran whatsoever.
Well, yeah, it's like friendly sarcasm just dripping off the letters as you say that.
All right, so here's what I did. I went way too literal with friendly Fran, but I did modify it just a little bit. Is when we take regular Fran, what's the trap question you give your athletes, or at least I do, is, hey, what would be harder than regular Fran? And most everybody says heavier. Fran. I'm like, that is incorrect.
Totally.
What would be harder than regular Fran? Lighter Fran. A friendlier Fran. It seems friendlier, and it is not. So here, this is what I did, and I went hard left to your right. I changed the thruster weight to 65 and 45. But I did bump the pull-ups to chest to bars because I think watching chin over bar pull-ups for the fastest people in the world is a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And so I went 42, 30, 18, thrusters at 65 and 45, and chest to bar pull-ups. Nothing crazy.
Nah.
A little bit friendlier on the weight, but not on the volume. And something anyone could do in the garage.
You're right.
They're not.
Yeah, in fact, that's going to be that ends up being more inclusive because you can have a lot more people do that, especially with the weight. They're not going to be freaked out by the weight, or it's not going to stop them.
The super fit may, I'm not saying should or try, could do this unbroken.
Oh, yeah.
Even the pull-ups.
100, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's still going to be
chest of our pull-ups and into 30 thrusters, regardless of the weight, and then that 30 pull-ups is going to be a challenge, regardless of your skill level. So that's the direction I went for event.
Yeah, I like that. You took friendly as real. It's. I mean, there's a little. There's like a very happy Fran standing there with a knife standing behind her back. You know, she's holding so you can't see it. Getting ready to chop you down as you get into round 2, just like always.
Oh man.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have it lighter but longer.
Yeah.
It's basically double Fran.
Totally.
90 reps of each.
Yeah.
And then, so I took the W, so I'm moving to event 2, and I'm putting that in air quotes.
Yeah.
I took W, it's its own standalone event, and I actually want all these letters to be individual, isolated, single modality tests.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Okay, and so that's where I'm going. So I put the weightlifting one, again, I'm not going crazy, I just put it as a 1 rep max snatch. Because super fit and super elite should be really good at it, because I think it's a movement that tests more than just strength.
True.
It's an all-encompassing lift, and everybody can do it, and it's fun to watch. And you can't fake a heavy lift when it comes to the snatch. So I put that as event number 2.
All right, hold on. I'm going to jump in on your event number 2. And I didn't go that way, but I like the idea. And depending what Fran is, or if this lift would be attached to that event number 2, what I would do, because we haven't seen this one yet, is a 1 rep max cluster, a squat clean thruster. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen cleans, we've seen clean and jerks, we've seen snatch, we've seen hang snatch. We haven't seen a cluster yet.
Regionals.
A cluster?
Yeah, 2011. It was.
Yeah. You're right. You advanced on the platforms. That's right.
It was technically a thruster.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a dedicated cluster, because you could have power cleaned that.
Right.
In the thruster, but most everybody squat cleaned and did it. However, but you're right. We haven't seen it at the games level. We've seen it similar at the regional level.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. All right,
I'll jump in on that one. Yeah.
Well, and I don't want you to limit yourself with your programming, Bill.
No, hey, I'm not limited. I mean, I have my plan. I did my plan. But that one, I wanted to throw a weightlifting one in there. I want to jump on that one too. That's cool. I'm all good on that.
Go to the next event, and it's Damn Diane.
Damn Diane.
And I'm pretty sure I've always called it that, and now it's just for what reason I have no idea.
Oh man.
So Diane traditionally is 21:59, deadlifts at 225, and handstand push-ups. And depending on what era you grew up in, when I first started doing Diane, they were strict handstand push-ups. And there's a reason the first Diane I ever did took 27 minutes.
Was it the handstand push-ups or the deadlifts?
It was actually the handstand push-ups at the time.
Ah.
I mean, once they go, they're gone.
Yeah.
And now we see people like Dan Bailey doing it like 1 minute and 47 seconds. What did you do it in regionals in 2012?
Oh, you mean when I beat Rich Froning?
When you beat some guy named Rich?
That's my claim to fame right there. Tell him I'm gonna ride that until the day I die. I beat Rich Froning, the oldest athlete ever to beat Rich Froning in an event. I actually don't remember the time. I think it was like 2:15, 2:14.
Also known as really fast. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you lead off, sir, with your Damn Diane.
Okay, so Damn Diane with the M next to it. So it had to be a monostructural. So that's the way I looked at this one. It's deadlifts and handstand push-ups. So what I did was, I know that deadlifting is a posterior chain, a pulling movement. So something that's very similar to that, I would think would be rowing. So what I did was I made it, instead of 21:15.9, I went 42 calories, 30 calories, 18 calories on the row.
Okay.
And I went strict handstand push-ups, 21:15.9. So 42, 21, 30, 15, 18, 9 of calorie row and strict handstand push-ups.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to think like, all right, I knew the Fran one would be a little bit longer with the weight, because you're going to have to definitely set up on that. And I wanted this one, I wanted them to be able to push. It's not obviously not going to be, 2 minutes, but it's going to force them to, they can move this one. They should be able to move pretty quick on this one. So I think, and it would be something that, again, people would be able to do if they have a rower and they have handstand push-ups. And they didn't say anything about parallettes, so I didn't go do a deficit. No, I just went to straight handstand push-ups and just kind of went from there.
I like that. Okay, so my event, my Damn Diane, I steered away from the rep scheme, but I kept the movements.
Okay.
And for funsies, I took damn, even though it's spelled D-A-M-N, as the curse word it always is.
Correctly spelled, yes.
Is I turned this into a damn breaking style event.
Oh, my God.
So this is now an every minute on the minute format. The old death by.
Okay.
In minute 1, 2 deadlifts, 2 handstand push-ups. Minute 2, 4 and 4. Minute 3, 6 and 6. And then you go 8,
okay.
10, 12, 12. And you go until the levy breaks and you miss your minute. So it's just back and forth. A little death by, increasing 2 reps every minute of deadlifts and handstand push-ups.
I like that one. And it was really fun to watch that in the at the Rogue Invitational. And I think that was a really interesting way to do an event. And I'm really honestly shocked that we haven't officially done something like that, like a classic death by. We've done the ones where you have to get so many rounds in 4 minutes and that repeats, and if you get that, you can kind of move on. But a true on the minute, like that's I like that. I like that one.
Doing that by yourself in the gym, like they had to do at the Rogue Invitational.
Yeah,
death buys are always easier with people around you. Now when you're by yourself, it's so hard. It's so hard when you're right up against the minute. Like, is it even worth getting?
Is it worth? It's like, or you just make it, and the first action is to like, okay, I'm in the next minute. I'm just gonna sit down for a second.
I made it.
I made it. I'm only gonna get 30 seconds on this one because I just made it.
As far as like, congratulations, you made it. Now keep going.
I actually like that one. I really like that one. I actually want to try that one.
Again, I think I didn't change the weight.
Yeah.
Handstand push-ups or handstand push-ups. You can do this in your garage. And then, so I made event 4 as the M. My opinion, the single worst monostructural test you could possibly do.
You're going to make them row far, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm going to make them row just far enough.
Oh, 2,000.
1,000 meter row time trial. And I'm purely taking this off the idea that, Dave had Alessandro Pacelli, ex-collegiate rower, by the way.
Yeah.
Test out the event. And Morning Chocolate did this thing. They're trying to overanalyze everything, a single photo. They're like, she was just on the rower. There's no tape on her hands. There's no grips. There's no knee sleeves. I was like, fine, I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it. It's like all it was the row. It's just the M. And the worst row I could possibly think of in all my history of doing rows is a 1,000 meter time trial. It's the singular most painful thing I have ever done in CrossFit.
Yeah. What? It's right. What do they say is the absolute worst run? The 800 meter run? And that's the transition. That's onto the road. It's the same deal. That's an ugly one. I like that.
I think it doesn't. The trick there is like, okay, so we have these single modality lifts in other movements. So I don't want to outweigh a body type per se. And I think in a 500, it's a big boy move. In the 2,000, it's still a big boy move that you don't need that much conditioning. I think the 1,000 is kind of that middle ground where maybe the smaller, grittier athletes have more of a fighting chance there, so they're not completely outed in 1,000. Because a lot of the 1,000 has to do with just, do you want to keep rowing this fast?
Well, yeah. Can you keep your 500 pace for another 500? That's what it is, and that's
the answer is no. But you still got
disgusting. Yeah. And you're going to get into a really deep, oh, man. All right. I like that one.
All right.
I like that one.
If you were to do a strict monostructural one, what would you toss out there?
Oh, man.
Maybe you do the 5K because they need the long event if you're going to do an overall.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad idea either.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they
make your event for you, you pick your own event.
Okay, what I'll say is this: they need something longer, and so what I would say with that, is I'm gonna say, nah, you know what? I would just put them on the rower. I'd put them on something long on the rower, either a 2K or a 5K.
I'd say if they need to go along with it, which they probably should, to have a balanced test.
And I have to be careful because of my next event. That's why I have to make sure that I'm choosing correctly.
Okay, well, you're just starting out. So here, I'll say this is my part.
I'm going to say 2 or 5. That's what I'm going to say. 2 or 5 row.
I'll say 1 or 5.
Okay.
But I do like the idea of going long now that we say it out loud. And this is the fun part about sharing events, is that I think you do need a long test because it's just you have to have something.
You have to have the test. You have to have that
over 20 minutes.
Yeah,
you have to. You can't. Everything can't be short. Another reason why none of these events can be their classic forms, because then it would be like the 2008 CrossFit Games all over again.
Right.
Every 5 minutes long. Okay? And there's no more accurate, fair, across the board way to test a long distance monostructural, if that's what they're going to do and isolate it by its one component, than on a rower. So I like that.
Well, and you know what else they can do now? I know that Concept 2 and WOD-Proof Go, they have that sync up now.
Oh, that's right.
Where you can see the calories and everything from start to finish. So you have the actual, I mean, that if they go with that, with WOD-Proof Go, that will be the way that they could see everybody's row perfectly. And like to the 100th of a second, the actual time. So whether it's 1,000 and on that sprint, or whether it's a long one.
I might change my mind. You know what? I'm going to change it to 5K.
Ha! Look at that. I tweaked your brain right there.
Good call. Yeah, I'm going to change to the 5K row.
Cool. I like it.
All right. Moving on to event number 5, Nasty Nancy.
I really like this event. I really like the original version of it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the event that you made up. I'm like, geez, Bill.
Well, no, I like the event. I like this also. But I'll say this. So I could make, this is when I first saw it, this was the first event that I came up with. And this isn't even infusing the gymnastic. Now, if I was to infuse the gymnastic part of this, I'll tell you how I did it in a second. But so Nasty Nancy, 5 rounds, 400-meter run, 15 overhead squats, 95-65. What I wanted to do, after seeing that they had it in the games, they did 3 rounds, 600-meter run, 140, and what was it? A 140 and 90, 140 and 100.
Yeah.
25 reps.
Right.
Here's what I said, because they have the 300-meter out and back. So what I think it's going to be, I like this one.
Anticipation.
3 rounds, 300 out, 300 back, 15 overhead squats at either end. You carry the bar the whole time.
Oh, gosh.
So 3, 2, 1, go. You go out to 300 meters. You hit 15 overhead squats, put it back on your back, come back, 15 overhead squats. That's 1 round.
Whoa. Okay. So
3 rounds of that.
At 95 and 65?
No, 135 and 95.
Oh, God. So, okay.
So you got to carry it.
2,400 meters of running with a...
No.
It's
only, well, yeah. If you can ruck it, I mean, that's going to be a pain in the ass to carry it. But it's different. Everyone has been rucking. Everyone can do this because you can carry the bar on your back. Everyone has the bar. If you got to drop it, you drop it, but you can't move when you drop it.
Okay.
Ooh. You get to your end. I mean, like they said that you had to have to the 300 mark. That's the turnaround. So
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
All right.
And the holding the bar on your back is going to jack up your overhead position so bad.
Yes.
Just think like it's sitting on your traps and you're holding it secured to your scaps, and that's the only thing you need for an overhead squat.
Yep.
Ooh, at 135, God, that's.
Now, if I had to make the gymnastic part, then what I would do is I'd infuse a number of burpees in the beginning, burpees over the bar, to equate up to that. So probably something like, I'd say 3 rounds of 30 burpees over the bar and 30 overhead squats.
Okay.
That's kind of what I would go. Something that would be the programming numbers to make that look about right. Now it's not as fun as I would want it to be, but but that's how I would put the gymnastic with the burpees being the gymnastic piece of it.
If I were to, I'm gonna start playing your game.
Unless you do, whoa, hold on.
Whoa.
Handstand walks, overhead squats.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is nasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you have 15 different types of events.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. It's not the gymnastic infusion one, but I'm going to go with the carry one just because I think that's fucking awesome. I like that one.
Let's revisit, because 5 minutes ago we said what this was. So what is so yours is 3 rounds, 135 and 95.
Yep.
300-meter barbell carry.
Yeah.
15 overhead squats, and technically, I guess it would be 6 rounds of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's 6 rounds. Okay. 6 rounds of 300-meter carry, 15 overhead squats.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was your gymnastics combo platter?
It would be 6 rounds.
Oh,
30 meter handstand walk. So it'd be 15 down, 15 back, 15 overhead squats, 135, 95.
yeah.
That'd be my gymnastic.
Okay. Let's see. I'll throw out my gymnastics one, even though I don't have one. But I was just thinking, is like, if you were to keep it traditional, because Nancy itself, the 5 rounds, 400-meter run, and 15 overhead squats at 95 is a running workout.
Totally.
You run in, you smash your overhead squats, and you run back out as hard as you can, which is too one-sided to be a good test.
Oh, 100%.
For something like this. So if you said bar facing burpees, if all you did was throw in bar facing burpees with the overhead squats, it now becomes a very balanced test. 15 overhead squats, 15 bar facing burpees.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
right?
for sure.
Now you got yourself a balanced test. Okay. And you got your weightlifting, monostructural, and gymnastics. My nasty Nancy, you're going to bring in the squat rack that you're allowed to have, and you're going to need it. It's going to be 5 rounds, 400-meter run, 15 overhead squats, but every round, the weight is going to increase. So round 1 is traditional Nancy, 95, 65. Round 2, 135, 95. Round 3, 165, 115. Round 4, 195, 135. Round 5, 225, 155. So
you got to go heavier than that. Come on.
Here's the thing. The weights aren't insanely hard. However, the compounding volume plus not changing the reps. I didn't drop it down to 3. Originally, I did that. I went 15 down to 3, and I ended up like 275. But I was like, no, I want to keep it as much of a Nancy-like as possible. Again, I'm keeping it almost inclusive across the world that most people should be able to do. And then I didn't tweak the numbers. So it's still 400-meter run and 15 overhead squats, but the volume is 95, or the weight, 95, 135, 165, 195, 225. I mean, 15 overhead squats at 225 after all that isn't going to be just like the easiest thing in the world, even for these athletes, because the fact that it isn't crazy heavy, they're going to have to push the pace from start to finish.
They are going to have that run.
Heavy, then the runs don't become part of the equation anymore, and I wanted to keep it part of the equation. So that's my...
I like that. All right. I like that.
You have the squat rack, so you can just run in, pop it up, and go, instead of try to take it up overhead and do this clean and jerk or snatch thing. Like, it's just...
The pacing is going to be way different. Yeah. The pacing is going to be way different, where if it was heavy... you would think about how you're going to use the run as your rest so that you can go unbroken on the lift. But now you're going to be racing the first 3 rounds, like pushing it hard. So now you are having to go into supporting overhead, heavy. I mean, that's our midline stability right there. And you're doing that under heavy respiratory duress. Yeah. That's cool. I like that one. Yeah.
Right? You've already done 60 overhead squats, 2,000 meters of faster running than you want to.
Yeah.
And do 15 overhead squats at 225 and 155 to finish your event. That's my...
Yeah, that'd be a fun one. All right.
My event 6G for gymnastics is I'm taking off clues that probably weren't clues, but I'm going to say they were clues from Dave Castro's Instagram. And he posted something about someone doing a massive unbroken set of bar muscle ups. I think the number was like 63 or something like that. I should pull
Gross. 63?
Yeah, it was this this female athlete. And she did, and which was weird that he reposted it. I found that very interesting, because he's been reposting a lot of other people's work, which he doesn't do very often.
No, it's like a whole new Dave Castro lately.
I was like, whoa, okay. Gosh, I can't find it. Anyway, this came up, and I was like, hey, if I'm still going to infuse my single modality weightlifting monostructural gymnastics, they don't have rings. I don't trust chest to bar pull-ups with an eyeball test or pistols or handstand push-ups and all the other stuff because of the box limiting the big boys and all this other. Bar muscle ups, max unbroken set, 1 try. That's it.
Actually, I think we haven't done that yet. I think that'll be
how
an
many times
interesting
we
one.
say it is like, if you're going to do a max lift, why don't you do the max gymnastics test or the max structural test? And here it could possibly be the one thing we've been clamoring for years is that if you're going to do one, you better do the others, because you can't. It's so unfair to just isolate one modality like that if you're not going to bring in the other two. So I hope they do, and that's my guess. One attempt, max unbroken bar muscle ups. Rules and regulations, like if you regrip or your hands move, you're done.
Yeah, you would have to have some specific setups on that, or specific
waist and shake your hands out, because that's what this other athlete did. And I was like, listen, I can't do more than 20, even if I did do that. But to me, that's not. I was like, it just means you had badass grips. You probably taped your pull-up bar, and that's the one thing you're good at. But if you're going to do a true test, that needs to be unbroken. So it means no resting at the waist. You could do it as simple as, like, if you stop moving, you're done.
I think that's what the rule should be anyway. I mean, honestly, that's if you're going for I like the idea of that. An unbroken set. You're right. We haven't really had that. There's a lot, or it's the classic 30 muscle ups for time, that sort of thing. We haven't had a 1 rep max gymnastic movement, and I think that would be really good. But the loophole would be, if you stop moving, you're done.
Yes.
And I like that. Same setup, can't have the glide kip, can't do all that kind of stuff. I mean, even if you get up on top, you could see people that, like, if they rotate up top, they technically aren't moving, but they can, as they kind of rock over the bar and then rock back. I think that would be okay, just to be able to say, if you stop moving, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be fun to see. That would be fun to see. I like that.
And it's just fun to make up things we have no idea about.
Yeah. I like it.
Last event. It is Awful Annie.
Well, you know what this one's going to be. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Double unders and sit-ups. So you know it's going to be double unders. The rope is there. That has to be there.
Right.
And then they specifically said the GHD.
Did?
Like, I just thought that was a really odd choice to specifically put that in there, and then have Annie here and not have that be the case. So, like, it seems to me that what Dave said right there is that, okay, you're going to do 150 GHD sit-ups.
Yes.
And that's what it is. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, GHD, and double unders.
Now, here's mine, is that here's the thing I've always had a problem with Annie, the workout, is the double unders are completely and utterly pointless. Totally. 150 double unders versus 150 AMAT sit-ups is so ridiculously skewed, because this shows you when this event got made up. It was made 12, 15 years ago when no one could do double unders.
Right.
But now I hate this workout because the rep scheme for the double unders. So what I'm finally hoping they do is, yes, I do think it's going to be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 GHD sit-ups, but then you create, or you pick an appropriate volume of double unders that aligns with how long 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 sit-ups should take. So I bumped it up to 150 double unders, 125, 175, and 50. And that's 500 total double unders. And to me, that matches up better with 150 GHD sit-ups.
Yeah, I can see that.
Otherwise,
I totally, and I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, I knew even with that the double unders, and whether you're doing with sit-ups or whether you're doing it with GHD, it doesn't line, especially now, it doesn't line up. I mean, 50 double unders for someone to do is what, 35 seconds?
At the slowest.
I mean, like, that's it. That's it, you know.
Did you miss twice during those 50 double unders?
Right. So I totally agree with you on that one. with my own, I probably would have just tripled it. I would have gone 150, 120, 90, 60, 30.
I had that down originally, just triple, but the number came out to 500 the other way, so I just went with that.
Nah, that's cool. I'm the same. I agree with you 100% on that one. 100%.
There's no other way. You cannot make it 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
No.
Keep the double unders the same. And I think, honestly, moving forward, we need to change. Well, you can't change a traditional workout like that.
No. Because there are some people that when they come into CrossFit, they are where CrossFit was when this event was when this workout was created. You know, it's like, oh man, I got 7 double unders today.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to have that. That's the benchmark.
Populist. Okay, so yeah, we basically sit on the same thing for the last one.
For sure, 100%.
Nothing crazy. So let's do a little recap. All right, so we took clues. How about you go through yours, or do you want to combo platter it again? Just a little recap on yours.
We were on two sides of the fence. I infused mine, so I put mine together. Yours was yours. So I basically had 4 events. You had 7.
Yeah.
I took the 4 events because also the way that they were. If you look at how they're going to be doing the broadcast show, is they have a segment twice a day.
Yep.
And so I was thinking that like that's how they'd set up. So mine was Fran with weightlifting, so 21, 15, 9, increasing from pull-ups to chest to bar to bar muscle up, and you increase weight 155, 105 on the 21, 225, 155 on the 15, 275, 195 on the 9 for the Fran. That was mine.
Brutal.
The next one, the Damn Diane, is 42-21, 30-15, 18-9 calorie row, and then strict handstand push-ups.
I like the strict call.
Yeah. Well, no parallettes, man. You know, can't do that. And kipping's meh. It's kind of like the double under thing. It's too easy nowadays, you know. The Nasty Nancy, I'm gonna go with and again,
I like this one though. Go with that one.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the carry. So it's 6 rounds, 300 meter carry, 15 overhead squats, 135 and 95. Even though that didn't use the gymnastic part in there. If you have to use the gymnastic part, then it's 30. It's 6 rounds, 15 meter handstand walk, 15 overhead squats, 135, 95. I
thought you said 30. 30 meter handstand walk.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking down and back.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it's split up.
Got it.
And then the Awful Annie, we were the same. I tripled the numbers. So 50, 150, 40, 120, 30, 90, 20, 60, 10, 30 of GHC and double unders. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so mine, I took all the single letters as individual events. So again, you had 4 combo events. I had 7 individual ones. So I took Friendly Fran as 42, 30, 18. Thrusters at 65 and 45 and chest to bar pull-ups. Event 2 on the W or weightlifting, I just put as a 1 rep max snatch. Test some strength. Event 3, Damn Diane, I have a death by every minute on the minute. 2 deadlifts at 225 and 155, followed by 2 kipping handstand push-ups. And then 4, 6, 8, 10 until you get capped at whatever minute you get stuck at. Event 4, I'm going to go with the long distance version of this. So monostructural, I put a 5K row because as much as I want to see them do a 1,000-meter row, I think a 5K would be a more appropriate complete overall test if we're going to test to make the top 5 for the CrossFit Games. Extra long there. Event 5, Nasty Nancy. 5 rounds, 40-meter run, 15 overhead squats, but the weights increase from 95, 65, 135, 95, 165, 115, 195, 135, and then 225 and 155. Event 6, the G for gymnastics. I said 1 attempt max bar muscle ups. And then the final event, Awful Annie, again, the same thing you did. And I'll just do the triple like you did because
cool.
3 times. And we'll finish with the same exact event, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 GHD sit-ups, and then 150, 120, 90, 60, 30 of double unders. And that is exactly what is going to happen on Friday and Saturday.
Man, I can't wait to see.
I'm very excited.
I can't wait to see if how close we are. I want to see like how close we are.
I think between the two of us in like the 6 different versions we actually ended up talking about for the event, we got to get at least one of them.
Well, we'll get off Lanny. That one we have. Like that's going to be how it's going to be written. That one's going to happen that way. There's no other way. There's no other way. It's got to be that way.
I really like all these options. There's a lot of these I want to try. I want to try your carry one. Your nasty.
Dude, we used to do carry stuff all the time. Like when I was in fire and we'd be working out at the station, we would do carries all the time. A good one is like 400-meter run or 400-meter carry, 225 on your back.
Yeah.
And every what did we do? Like every 10 meters, you would do 1 back squat.
That makes a lot of sense, though. From what I mean, think of like all this, the tanks you got to carry, the hoses you got to carry. Like that's actually great training for your fire guys. That's
super fun.
I like it. You're gonna go to a track, get a barbell, and test that out. I like that.
Do it. Let me know how it goes.
All right. Well, hey, we would love to hear y'all's opinion and your ideas of what you think the events will be, but get them in soon because we'll release this today. It is Wednesday. The events, I don't think they'll get actually released until Friday. I'm not sure if they'll release them on Thursday or not. So you guys have about 2 days to give us your best guesses, but those are ours. And again, before we close things out, we want to thank Bubs Naturals for jumping on board with us.
Yeah, Bubs.
And gosh, I've been sipping on this coffee with
Dude, mine's done already.
Bubs.
I need to go for my 3rd cup already. What the heck?
You're not supposed to put that much MCT oil in your body, Bill.
Well, okay. I'm just gonna. This is how I do it now. I do. First cup has my collagen peptide. Second cup has my MCT.
Okay.
Boom.
You spread the wealth.
So my body is infused with Bubs right now.
All into one.
I'm Bubs infused.
And if you guys want to support the show directly, again, we love the support we already have with the downloads, the reviews, all the feedback we've gotten on social media. But if you guys do want to have a direct impact on what we do, please support us on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/getwiththeprogramming. It's a $6 a month support system, and we will pick one patron every week to give you a full month of programming of whatever you want. You tell us what you want to get better at. And me and Bill will supply that programming free to you. And Bill, I do have one more special announcement to make.
Uh-oh.
And I teased this a couple episodes ago. But I'd secretly been doing an online qualifier.
Oh, yeah.
Legends Masters competition that is going to happen in, they say Goodyear, Arizona. I don't know exactly where that is.
I know where that is.
Okay.
That's out by CrossFit Fury, out by...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know where that is.
Yeah.
And just so happens, I just accepted my invitation because I qualified for the competition. And I have decided to dust off the shield, probably wash my red, white, and blue apparel, and I will be stepping out onto the individual competition floor for the first time since 2014.
Please tell me you're going to have your American flag knee-high socks.
I still have them. I'm going to bring those. I'm going to bring my arm. I'm going to bring it all.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I would never wear it again. I would never wear it again until I did another individual competition. So for some reason, I made it. I qualified. I accepted. And I better get my ass in shape because I am not going out there to compete to embarrass myself, especially if I'm going to wear all that Yahoo red, white, and blue. So,
dude,
I qualified.
Congrats, dude. Congratulations. I've actually been talking to those guys to see if I can come down and commentate, so I might be talking shit about you on the floor.
Please do. Please keep me honest and keep me grounded. If you do make it out, me and Bill, I think we should do a live YouTube show.
Oh, yes.
Every night after the event's over and just talk about the day.
Absolutely. Oh, man, it'll be a good time.
So if you do make it out there, I know you got some family out there.
Yeah.
I think we should we should just bunk up anyways. It's to keep it traditional.
Yeah.
And then maybe we will do a live recap show every day of the CrossFit competition and talk about how not good I'm doing and why.
Oh, man. Dude, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
Right, we'll do it for our fan service episode of programming the 2020 online CrossFit Games based off Dave Castro's clues. We would love to hear what you guys think. And again, we want to say big shout out to Bubs Naturals. And again, look us up on Patreon at Get With The Programming or / Get With The Programming and support the show if you can. Either way, we love you guys. We're not going to stop doing this no matter what happens.
That's right.
Thank you guys for joining us. And I can't wait to see what happens on Friday.
Oh, man. I'm so excited. So excited.
Thank you guys.
See you guys.
Y'all.